Okay. Okay, we're live.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order. It's 7:10. There is nobody in person from the public, and then nobody who's managed to get on, so I guess we have no public comment. We need to approve the minutes, which we just received, just a little bit ago. I guess. I'm just trying to make sure I get to the bottom. Okay. Does anyone have any comments about the minutes?
Under committees,
Under committee?
fundraising, second sentence is just a little typo. I believe he meant something to the extent of with community involvement, or maybe just include that in the first sentence, but
Wait, the fundraising paragraph.
yes,
Ms. Gunning led a continued discussion on the proposal to establish a standing committee for this purpose. A project for early 2025. And then there is a weird punctuation there.
yeah.
But you're saying you,
I think maybe just put a comma after purpose. A project for 2025,
yes,
period.
yes.
That's
Okay,
my only.
yeah, okay. The word community, yes, is kind of just hanging out there. Okay, so we'll note that and make those corrections.
So can I make a motion?
Yes,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from October 15th with the one correction previously discussed.
and
Second.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, one bit down. We have the reports, the financial reports, the bills. Let's pull the cap up. I go over this with a fine tooth comb, but it looks straightforward to me. There were a lot this month. Are there any questions? Okay, I think we can pass the cap. And then
Make a motion
Okay, Gary's making a motion.
to approve cap 241119F in the amount of $21,638.24.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye. And then we've got Ted's financial reports. Let me see if I can. Were there any comments or questions about the finances as in the report?
Can I make a comment?
Yes. Please.
On the income report,
Uh-huh.
I, as most of you know, made a mistake in the calculation for Alexis's salary.
Right.
This report fixes that mistake.
Okay. So you went back and corrected it throughout? Or
No,
just made one?
otherwise we'd have to approve all those reports.
Okay, yeah,
I corrected it on this one.
okay,
Make it.
great. That
So
makes-
she is configured in now with the wages instead of the salaries.
Okay, that makes sense.
I have a
Right.
question, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, aren't we getting a small amount from the, 9 partners? Does that show up next month?
You mean from the,
Cemetery?
yeah, we just got the check, so it'll show up.
Okay,
Next.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the financial report.
okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, and then we got the proposed budget with the cap. Just all done up in a nice pretty format. And we should probably, this seems like a good time to vote on that. I think it's everything that we addressed in our 2 workshop meetings. So can we have a motion to accept the budget, or are there any questions? I guess. No. Then can someone make a motion to accept this?
I can make a motion to accept the proposed 2025 budget with the total expenses and the total income totaling $233,177.
In a second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. I got no report. I never have a report. Yeah, we'll have to work on that letter the next couple of weeks to try to get it out in December, I think. So I'm sorry, I've been caught up with my stuff, but,
Well, I sent the revised one of
yeah,
of all
I
3.
just saw
Yeah,
that
yeah,
today, I
so-
apologize.
No, that's okay. If we work through that, then
Yep.
we can get it down pretty quickly.
Yep.
And I can lay out a card once we figure out a size. Been getting some prices for the EDDM, so it'll be about 1,200 if we,
Mhm.
but I've talking to Ethan about some of the areas that he's got labels for, so
Right.
roughly 7 to 1,200, depending on, I don't exactly know what we did last time, but it'll be.
It was on the higher end last time, wasn't it? Like $1,200, 11 or
The
1200?
EDM,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I didn't know how many areas. you know.
Oh, I mean,
I think last year we only sent it to Pine Plains, the 1, 2, 5, 6, 7.
Right, this is, but
Yeah.
there's sections of that you can choose, and I don't know what
Right,
y'all
but I
did.
think we have to put postage on those if we're gonna mail out to
Mm, if
that.
you're
We're
gonna
not
mail
getting a
separately,
whole,
yeah.
we're not getting a whole 3rd and 4th section. I don't think they can break it down that finely.
it was sent to everywhere in the 1, 2, 5, 6, 7,
Yes.
both counties.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about, because you can choose you can choose the areas, you can have 1 or 2 areas, and it's the same, it's a different price, but it,
Right, yeah,
Okay.
we want the 1, 2, 5, 6, 7.
right,
in both
For
counties.
both, yeah.
yeah, that's, okay.
Um,
That's a higher end then.
but I think we have some additional ones that we want to send out that will have to be postage.
Okay.
Not, that can't be sent out with.
It's about
the
160 and a half labels.
Okay, so that's like a
Oh,
half print label.
handwritten.
Wow. Yeah, so we'll have to count that in too.
So let's say 1,500 or something
yeah.
like that, maybe for budgeting purposes.
And then the printing costs
Mhm.
too.
I think that.
Is that
includes-
included?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
included, but that's not with those additional ones, the
Okay.
1,200 was for the
Okay.
sections for.
Where would we get that printed? Where did you get it printed last time?
Quick print or something like that, I have to look it back.
In
at
red
the-
and everything.
They can just ship it out and
Minuteman?
something, I don't know where we got it.
And they were able
Okay.
to do everything compared to some of the
Yes.
printers, like the one in Millbrook. They would not
Okay.
ship it for us.
The only reason I would ask is if any of them would be willing to donate the printing. If we added like underwritten by any of the
Mm.
printers, it would just
Mhm.
require somebody calling them and asking.
There's
I
a
don't
printer
know.
in Millerton as well that
Mhm.
I know
Hmm.
that,
More and more.
yeah, that the newspaper, Dick has gone to them and asked them for things,
Okay,
so might be.
Just a thought, but I mean, if then we have to do the mailing, that might be more work, but yeah.
yeah. In Milton, the.
How more and
more.
more.
Okay.
provide. For instance.
You really should talk to the post office because the Pine Plains Community Food Locker just mailed out theirs.
Got mine.
And
Mhm.
the post office splits it off into different districts, as it was pointed out. You can buy the whole district. That, in other words, you don't have, like Pine Plains has three different post office boxes, Route 1, Route 2. You can do any of them, or none of them, except like 1 or 2, whatever you want.
Right,
So if you were looking like for Hicks Hill Road, if you
Yeah.
find that on the Stanfordville site, that particular, is it Route 1, is it Route 2? You can buy that whole route, which might be a heck of a lot cheaper than paying first class postage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have
that's
to
what
go
the
on the
ED
site, the United States Postal Service site, and you gotta spot
right.
where you want.
We only have 160 additional ones that we want to send out. So I don't think that's not cheaper than getting the EDM
Okay,
for the whole. That's what I was saying, for just the extras, the few that we wanted to add in. I think,
And the 160 is split between Stanfordville with Hicks Hill Road,
Mylan,
Red Hook,
Red Hook,
which is up, Lake Carvel and that area, and then Millerton. So it would be 3 different routes.
in
as
3
well.
different towns.
Yeah.
$116 for 160 stamps, so.
And is that
assuming
considered a
they're-
postcard, or is that?
It depends
That
on
might be
letter?
oversized.
It's gonna be
yeah.
oversized probably.
so
We'll have to
then-
see. We haven't sized it yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't be postcards. It'll have to be
It'll have to
bigger.
be bigger,
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, and we still have, might I say, we have $5,000 in the Board of Trustees fundraising line.
yes,
It is
that's
November
exactly what we should be
20th.
using it
Yep.
for, yes,
So,
Yeah,
absolutely.
But Ted, that's exactly what I've looked at in, for the mailing, like what we're
Right.
doing. We're looking at buying those routes, that Route 1 and Route 2.
Yeah.
From the post office website. It's
Did the
really cool.
newspaper send something out? I saw something in the office.
Don't remember.
'Cause I haven't
Um,
gotten anything. I often don't get them on my route.
yeah, we're in
They're-
that Millerton route, so we don't get anything from
They,
anybody.
I think they're often sketchy about, truthfully, about
Yeah, I just
getting.
remember him mentioning the printer and that he could ask them about printing something, so
Mhm.
I don't,
Okay,
that's the extent of my memory.
okay, that's good. So we did the budget, we did that, or my report,
Minuteman Press did the road signs for the vote.
okay,
414.
and then they may have, did we use them also for the
I feel
vote?
like
We've
maybe
done
we
2
did, yeah.
postcards sent, yeah,
They must have done
they
those
must have
too.
done that too, yeah,
Alexis arranged that.
Mhm.
yeah.
Maybe it was minute. Print something. like
Okay.
that.
I have other things to say, but they're more about other objects. So, I'm gonna pass my president's report baton to Jean.
Okay, so the Friends purchased a scanner. I guess.
Mhm, mhm.
You have it
Yeah,
already.
we're working and testing it. Yeah, it's really neat.
So they're testing it out to see if they want more of those, if that works. I don't know if you need to explain what the scanner.
So we've been having trouble with our scanners because you can scan something, it beeps, but it doesn't actually register on the screen to
Oh.
the software. So you have to be really paying really paying attention before you can see if it's actually
Uh-huh.
done something. And it's very troublesome. They've been annoying. So this one has haptics. So when you scan it and it's a good scan, it buzzes in your hand. So
Okay.
you know that it's a good scan, and then it makes it more efficient. And it's
Yeah, they
Bluetooth.
do die.
Yeah.
Yeah, barcode scanners die.
Yeah. So we're testing that one out. It was $66
Mhm.
and it does operate on Bluetooth. So we're going to get it. We just got our new computers in. It doesn't have a Bluetooth on it. So we're going to get a Bluetooth knob and
Okay,
dongle and
Dongle.
do it as Bluetooth. So that'll be
Great.
cool. Yeah. So it's working out really well. Thank y'all very much.
And then we also traditionally buy the National Book Award winners, which are announced this month. And Deanne said we could do that again.
That'll be nice. Thank you.
And then we also, I think, we are ordering some little craft take-home kits for kids to put in the children's room.
great.
That's it.
Okay. Jan?
Okay. Oh, let's see. Let me start off with some good news. We got the seed grant from from Berkshire Tegonic for the kids club, and that was $3,000. So that came in, and we will deposit it this week. And that enables me to keep on going with this program for next. I think it's popular enough that we can keep going. We had 13 kids at the art thing today, so
That's
that was
wonderful.
really good.
I spoke to Aileen about it, who decides who gets the grants. And she said she's super excited about what we're doing here. So I think that just like maybe a follow-up at some point with her might be a good idea, just like this quarter or this month, whatever it is. So just give her some like great
Stats
information
and
about
numbers,
stats about it. It might be
Okay.
helpful just so we get it again next year.
I sent a thank you
No,
note
I'm
to my.
I'm not
oh,
saying that like, you haven't done anything, but I think just like continuing a dialogue with them might
Sure.
not be a
About
bad
this
idea.
thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
about this thing, because she said specifically that they're excited about it. so.
Good. I got to do a report on the legit grant by the end of the month or end of December, excuse me.
What did the seed grant pay for again?
So I put it specifically for the kids club,
Okay.
so for the artist to keep the artist coming, to buy games and toys and snacks, which we are blowing through.
Right.
I cannot keep snacks.
No. Mm,
Listen,
So,
if the snacks are getting them here, it's
That's
half the
right.
battle, right?
okay, so that was the good news. So policy review. We have to go back over the pay time off policy because we had a person quit and I realized that we did not have it buttoned up so that they didn't have enough hours to accrue PTO, but they could have demanded it to be paid out.
mm,
So we were tightening up. That's why I included the revised PTO language in this month. And once we get that done, then I can send it to GTM and they can implement it. And I'll feel comfortable at that. Okay, for external review, this is a safety net for what may or may not come down
Mhm.
because of the election results. I'm not going to, the collections is a good policy as it is. It seems strong enough. We will have to stand on policy to protect the library if
Mhm.
something should come up. So our, the policy for collections is important based on what we heard at that, Mid-Hudson meeting that we went to, where a lot of books can be pushed onto a library, but they don't meet publishing standards. They don't have binding that is,
They're
they're subpar, they're very poorly printed and will not stand up to a library usage. And so that's one way you can push back on some books that are people
Mm-hmm.
request to be put into your collection. So the policy that we have is pretty straightforward and strong. So I just want to go over that one more time, see if anybody has any questions about that but then make sure that we're up to date on that. We may have to come back in the future and go back over policies again, depending on what happens. So,
Absolutely, and we should be doing that on a regular basis as needed. So, I mean, that's not something to, you know.
Okay.
Like
I like the way we do
warn
it
us
now.
about, yeah,
It's
actually,
great.
this is working out really well.
Just on a
It gives
constant
us a,
basis.
yeah, it gives us a way to keep refreshing them. And, you know, some things need to be amended more often than others,
Yeah.
so that's just the way it is.
Okay,
And what's
Um,
I haven't read it, so for full transparency, but is there any, do we have any language in any of the policies about not having books available in the library that people don't want available in the library? Like book banning, basically, I'll say it.
we do. Well, we have challenges. So we
Okay.
can, we control, the director controls what is in the library based on you know,
Policies
yeah,
and set up
policies that we
and
set up
those, yeah.
and what we think would work for our patrons. And the challenge is up to date. So our challenge
Yeah,
is,
we did that a couple of
Yeah,
months
y'all-
ago.
yeah, we
We
did
did the
that.
challenge paperwork, yeah.
and it was, when I first came on. it
I'm
was-
literally am lucky. I totally forgot even about this meeting tonight. I was like, I
Oh.
was on Instagram and I was like, oh, shoot. So I need to be somewhere in an hour.
The
So we-
last sorry to interrupt, the last sentence of the second paragraph, which kind of surmises the entire thing. Censorship is a personal and individual
Okay.
choice. It is not to be imposed upon the rights of others, which is
Perfect,
preceded
okay.
by
Yeah.
other language.
So we have a bookend of what we can choose, what we want to choose based on policy, and what is challenged based on policy. So,
Okay, got it. Thank you for
Okay.
explaining that.
okay, so
So we have to approve this and then we'll change the date and.
yes,
and then-
yes,
Perfect.
I'll have that up to date again.
Okay,
So we've put the need for board members in the newsletter, and online. We've got one, Michael Manning is gonna volunteer this Saturday, so yay.
Is he from the, is he from the newspaper?
Yes,
Okay.
he used to be a
He
volunteer
volunteered.
here.
Volunteer
Yeah.
and an old board member.
Let's see, we have some students that are coming from Mr. Schoonmaker's class and coming back, so that's really good.
okay.
They'll be doing an hour here and there, but that's still, we'll take it.
That's the class where they have the civic.
Community service.
Community
Yeah.
service.
But some have come back because they've done their hours and they're still coming back.
And that's good.
Yeah, let's see. So let me go back to grants. I'm applying right now for the American Library Association grant, for rural libraries.
Mhm.
And it is a big endeavor. So, that's what I'll be working on a lot between now and the 11th, when it's
Mhm.
December 11th, when it's due. I'm gonna go for the 20,000 and then step down for 10,000, so we'll see. That's gonna be focused on, delivering books to patrons who are homebound for various physical reasons or, for disability reasons. And, having Wi-Fi hotspots if they need them. I don't know what how widespread spotty internet is in the county. I know there's some places that don't have it.
Boy, in the region, it's very spotty.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this grant allows you to do a study, so you can propose something and then do a study on it and say, oh, that's not what we need, this is what we need. So that's what's really nice about this grant.
Right.
And it's specifically for small rural libraries like ours.
You
And
should be
let's,
able to get out that Wi-Fi information, because Dara had a whole broadband committee and she did a whole study on it,
Yeah,
and
a
then,
couple of years ago.
yeah, and then, I'm sure that, Pat Ryan has it as well for the county,
Yeah.
so.
I can forward you the broadband.
okay. And the other would be to provide, so when Tech Time for Annie comes up, I find a lot of people who, some have physical disabilities are coming in and needing a lot of basic assistance with, either online help or just their phones or just, ordering meds or something
Mhm.
like that, medications. So providing a service like that in addition to delivering books. So it would be like a concierge service for, people who are disabled.
Mhm.
And that's just an idea. That was just 3 parts of the
Mhm.
grant that I was thinking of. We will have spent almost, I'm gonna say 70 to 75% of the legit grant once I get through, awarding the people who went to all of the, workshops for legit, because they're gonna get $100 gift card, because they went to at least 4.
That's great.
And so there's 5 of those, so that's $500 there. So we will have spent almost all of it. I'll reapply for the grant next year. She seemed to be excited about some of the workshops that we were doing. We couldn't get them all this year, could not do it. So, we're having a, mix of college-bound and trades-bound, seminars
Mhm.
for next year. So we'll hit
I
a
think
lot of
that's great.
population there. Let's see, Annie and I attended the Zoom meeting on how to make your library events accessible, and it was very interesting for people with disabilities or special needs, and it was really good. Let's see, for our programs, the English class, the lessons are steady, the attendance is
Mhm.
steady. We may have a new volunteer to help teach English, which Annie will need. She's doing it all by herself, so it
Mhm.
would be really great if somebody could help.
Do you have to be trained to do that?
it would be good to have teaching experience, but the way they do the lessons, no. You just have to, they have lesson plans that you can follow, and it's very conversational. So you're working on just one part of speech, or you're working on phrases, idioms, things like that. So no, I mean, if somebody wants to come and shadow her for one, to sit in on a lesson or two, that would be awesome. Thursday nights she has three or four people that come for lessons.
Because Mary Jenkins did a course in it. I feel like maybe
Yeah, down at Stanfordville, yeah.
Stanfordville.
Yeah, I
I
don't,
don't know where she does the
yeah.
the ESL stuff, but
ask it.
okay, just curious.
Okay, so we did, the cemetery tour went well. They gave us a check, I think it was $237 for 10%, and then we got paid for our copies. So that
Okay.
was good. Story times are sporadic attendance still, but we're getting one or two kids.
Are we doing a Saturday one
Mhm.
or? Okay.
Why do you think that is?
I have no idea. Some people still don't know. They don't know about it. They're like, I didn't know about, they don't know about the kids club either. They come and say, why do I not know about this? And I just keep trying marketing. I have no idea if it works.
Yeah.
The fiber knots, I ask them every week. We have really good turnout for fiber knots. And I said, where'd you hear about that? Oh, I heard a word of mouth, or I saw the flyer, or I saw it on the website, or it's a little bit of everything.
And we're posting it on the Pine Plains Facebook pages, not ours,
The community one,
ones,
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always just gonna be
Yeah.
sketchy.
Yeah.
Um,
Putting on another set of flyers.
And do we do one in Spanish for Spanish speaking kids or no?
For story times? Not
Mm.
yet. No, I don't have anybody to do that. We could, I guess. We could, I
I
have to
can
have enough.
tell you that we used to do very well on Saturdays when I was doing it years ago. And then that started to drop off because families get so involved with
mhm.
their older kids' sports
Yeah.
and stuff, or else
Yeah.
they're just going shopping
Yeah,
for groceries.
yeah, yeah, I got it.
And also the pre-K started in the school, public school, so that
Helps.
cut back on the kids that would come to story hour during the week.
We have one or two, one every week. It's fun. We just sit and read a story. So
I'm sorry, go, keep going. I was gonna say we need to vote on the two policies before we go too far.
okay, go ahead.
Have you finished your report?
No, I can go through anybody
Okay,
have
that's
statistics?
what-
They're
perfect.
going, everything's doing
Yeah.
fine. We still I need to remind y'all to do your credits, your 2 hours.
Yeah.
Continuing education. And webinars work. Oh, and the job description, if I need y'all to see if anybody have comments for the youth director or the youth program manager. That was in the packet.
Yeah, I just saw that it was there.
Oh, the other thing that we're gonna do, I want to just mention, is shared virtual programs. We're doing a group, the libraries are getting together. Different libraries are gonna host a Zoom session on a topic, and the next one is understanding the New Deal, which is on December 4th. And then who is doing that? I can't remember who's doing it, but we'll also have the Zoom. We'll have the Zoom here, and we'll have people attend or watch the Zoom,
Mhm.
and then we'll get credit for the attendance. So we're doing several of those through the winter because nobody really likes to get out and go to programs.
Right.
But the next one is Art on Ice, the Gilded Age figure skating on the 21st, which is supposed to be a really good one. I think Hudson does it. I can't remember who's doing it. That's it. Well, we met our overdrive purchase. I was so proud of
I
that.
saw that,
And I don't know how to figure that out. It is a total mystery, but we did it. We basically broke even on what we needed to do, which is perfect.
Doing what we need to do is all we need to do. Okay, do we need to vote on the part-time youth programmer?
No,
job
that was
description? Okay.
just
Just for.
the only thing that need to be voted on are the two
The
policies.
two
the PKO and the-
policies, so we have the,
Well, those are later in the agenda anyway, so,
were they?
yeah. Maybe
Oh, yes, they are, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Never, I totally, the asterisk is in the wrong place.
So does anybody have a question on programs, purchases?
Do we vote,
Oh,
do we vote on,
it's facilities.
on her report?
Mhm.
Yeah, let's do the facilities in a minute. Let's vote on her report. We're accepting. I make the motion that we will accept the Dan's report, director's report for
Second,
this month. All in favor?
aye. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yes, you're getting
Oh.
very excited.
Well, that makes, we're gonna have our evaluations coming up. We're creating a form for Jordan and me and for Annie. And so
Okay.
I'll have y'all do mine. Ooh, it's blind here.
The what, the form? No, not yet.
No, we haven't, we're just writing it up.
Okay.
And we have a silent book club coming up on Mondays and board games on Friday nights.
Silent book club?
You just come up and read.
Right.
Just nobody has to share anything.
They've been talking, it's been floating around on Facebook
Yeah,
in the last couple of weeks.
yeah. This is
Um,
introverts book club.
Yeah, no, I love it. I think it's a great idea. Okay. And then facilities now. We're doing
Okay.
Facilities.
So the town has replaced the lights, thank you, this week, on 11/14 rather. Rich has installed all the computers. We're still awaiting, that it's great because one of them died, one of the just in
old-
time, the day before he came, they died, would not start up. So it was like great timing. And let's see, yeah, they're all done, because when I wrote this, he hadn't finished it, but now he has. The friends brought us a scanner. This seems promising. We're happy about that. I'd like to purchase a whiteboard table, one of these, to replace that table that's around there. That area is used for studying, but that table is too big and I need it for fiber knots. I need another chair in there for fiber knots.
Mm.
And for discussions, we're having another.
So this size of a
This size
table?
table, it's as wide as what the other table is, but it's shorter, which I can put
Okay.
another chair next to it. But
Okay.
two people can still study at this.
Okay.
And so people do study and do tutoring over there. So it's
Just gonna just
this
go look.
particular,
I can't visualize.
it's
it.
either 350 or 500. I can't,
And it's the same brand?
yes, it's the same one. So we can use it again if we need to pull it up for
Okay.
another
Yeah, I think
longer
as
thing.
long as it's the same and we can kind of keep
Yeah.
it consistent.
So it's 36 by 36 and that one's 36 by 46 or something like
Right.
that.
That one's
So,
too big for that
yeah,
space.
yeah.
It's not quite.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this would be smaller and would go in there. So
I
I
feel
would.
like it may have used to be in here,
That would make sense.
where
Yeah.
it probably fit
It
better.
used to
Yeah.
be in
Or-
the children's room
Okay.
and we moved it with the furniture out
Good.
here, or this
Things-
one's there.
everything is
Something,
moved
yeah,
around, yeah.
I moved it
I
around,
used to have two tables that size here.
Yeah.
but these are great. So I'd like to do that. Do I need, it'll be, I'm gonna say 500. I'm finding it online and
I make a motion
Very
to
weird.
approve
Yes,
$500 cost for a new table.
second.
okay, thank
All
you.
in favor?
Aye.
Yes,
It may-
officially.
With tax and maybe a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's
Okay,
fine.
Ish.
okay.
500.
Let's see. I would like to propose a new phone service for the library, because I hate the one we have right now. It has no caller ID. We have to use these rinky dinky phones, and our phone service is too expensive for what we're paying, for what we're getting. So if we go to internet phone, I have enough confidence in our internet service, except for this.
Tonight.
Yeah. It's fine over there, but we have these voice over IP phones
Mhm.
that somebody donated we can use.
Uh-huh.
And it's so much cheaper. It's like $30
Good.
for a month.
Yeah.
And you get caller ID, you get all this other stuff. So it's either with the city, what the town is using, or Vonage, which is another one. But I'm trying to see if Vonage says we could not port our number. But Optimum says we can. I don't know. We'll have to see. But if we can't port our number, it's a dead issue.
Yeah,
But
I was gonna say.
if we can, 95% of people can port their numbers. I don't know why
So
we
I have
couldn't.
Optimum, I was allowed to port my number.
You
From
were?
Gallatin to my plans.
But I wonder if it's a business, if it's because it's a business number. I don't know. Oh, well, have you been happy with your service? Okay. It's so much cheaper. It's like $30 versus
Mhm.
68, what we're doing now.
Mhm.
Okay, great. I'll explore that and
Mhm.
pull it. Do it. And that's all I got.
Okay, do we have one, we only have one line coming in?
We hardly ever use it. The fax service is online. It's working great.
Right. Good. Okay,
I have a couple of questions on facilities still. Did the interior door, this door got fixed? Brenda fixed that door, right?
Yes.
The side door here is still,
The handle,
Sticking.
it sticks, it's hard. I just leave it locked, and so that gives you a better more pull on it, so you can pull on it.
is the town any closer with, I guess you wrote into the budget an increased amount for Bobby Lee's position, right? Which would cover here.
So that's still up for discussion. Yes, we increased it. Because we are talking about having higher expectations
Mhm.
for that position. And I said that this was included. There is discussion about the library pitching in to fund a portion of that. So I guess I want to understand how you feel about that, because we have a meeting tomorrow night.
Okay.
The public, hearing
well,
on the budget.
the
is tomorrow.
things that I, at some point, we had reported that the gutter on the north side of the building needs to be cleaned, and I'm not sure it was ever cleaned. I haven't gotten up there to see, but things like that, exterior work, maintenance work need to get done, I think, by the town,
Yes.
not
Oh, I
by-
thought we were talking about the.
The garden, I thought it
I-
was the.
Yeah, the
And there's the
landscaping.
landscaping and stuff like that, and
So I think that
yes, we
the
were-
building is, yes, that it's.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's the commitment, the financial commitment that you're,
I don't remember what the figure is now, and I don't have that folder. You mean the
Um,
budget line?
We haven't, we
what you
do,
would want the commitment from the library to be,
Right,
if
so,
it's, if
yeah.
it's $10,000 a year, what's our portion?
It's not, this is what has been discussed, not what I'm proposing,
Yeah.
50-50.
Okay.
and what is the number?
I don't know what
Oh.
you mean, the number for what would it
What-
cost to landscape?
Yeah, what's the
maintain-
job,
It's
what's
two
the
questions.
job
I think
cost?
it's
That-
two questions.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
know.
You
yeah.
don't know the line item.
So,
Don't know.
so. we
And
have-
there's
yeah.
also discussion about, well, couldn't the flower beds be something that requires less maintenance? And, in my opinion, it doesn't require very much maintenance.
Yeah.
As is,
Yeah.
there have been discussions about, well, just yank it all out and put grass. How about
That
no?
requires way more maintenance.
Yeah.
Well,
I
anyway,
know.
And
So-
it's not something the garden club is willing to take on.
no,
Mhm.
no. I don't think so.
No,
And, so.
they're all too old right now. They've got enough on their plate.
Yeah. And so,
I mean, Linda, I don't know how much she was paid, but she did the whole thing. Linda Allen, when she did it. She
Right.
weeded.
Yeah.
She cut down the bushes and.
Yeah, I mean, the hydrangea need to be cut. I told Claire I was gonna go out there with my
Yeah.
own clippers.
Is there a misconception with the rest of the town board about the level of maintenance that needs to be done?
yes, I think so.
Because I think, speaking specifically about the garden, that is a 3-time-a-year
Mhm.
weeding,
Yeah,
clipping,
Mulching,
mulching,
Yeah.
and done.
right.
yeah.
So you might remember that I had proposed last year that Sue, who does the park, do this.
Mhm.
And it was voted down.
Hmm.
And I thought that it was the figure, I don't remember it now, it was like $2,000.
It wasn't a lot. I remember.
Yeah, and that included all the mulch and everything
Mhm.
else. And, but, I mean, I'm willing to advocate for that again too,
Right.
I think,
because
I
it's
mean,
really,
3 times a year, really, that's.
right.
I,
Because the
bring
plantings,
in
some
pods, put it in the
plantings
middle,
are,
yeah.
Perennial, they just need to be, right?
Yeah,
they've never
it's
been watered, so at this point, they don't need to be watered.
It's just
you know?
mold.
It's too,
Like,
it's
yeah.
too late now.
Well,
Sure.
tomorrow we have County Executive Serino upstairs, I'm coming down and weeding, because I can't stand looking at the weeds. I pull that every time. So it'll look better after
Oh, you mean you're
tomorrow.
doing that before she's coming?
Yes, yeah, just the weeds, just.
I have a question.
some of
Is
the-
We
it in
have-
our lease? What does it say in our lease about
We
the
have to-
landscaping? Is it already in the lease? Cause like when we rent our house out, I know it's a different situation, but when we rent our house out, there is a clause about what needs to happen with the yard work in there. So just curious if that was that.
Our leases at work, we have tenants and we have employees, and they all state very clearly who is responsible for trash.
I think we
yard
looked it
work,
up
all of
last
it.
year, but I don't. remember
Yeah, I
what we
haven't,
found.
I
Mhm.
haven't looked, I haven't absorbed it into my brain.
I
We,
don't understand why the town doesn't feel this should represent the town.
I agree.
right, it is one of the town's
It's almost like
buildings.
they don't think the library is part of the town, you know? This
But the
building,
building,
I
the
I
building
know they
isn't,
don't like the building because they inherited the building, sort of.
Yeah,
right,
And, you know.
but you
they're-
know, and I share your opinion,
Have
and I
some
think the
pride.
town does own. Right. Yep.
Yeah.
I
So,
think we
I mean,
would
and I'm
be
willing
better off
to-
asking a landscape company to, if the library has to come up with it, like ask a landscape company again to donate
right.
once a year. Maybe we get two of them, maybe they come once in the spring, once in the fall, like.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount I pay for the landscaping at my house, and it's probably twice as big as this, is $100 a week. Like, it's
Mhm.
not that much. They
Mhm.
like mulch in the spring, but they charge us consistently over the
Right.
course of the year. It
Right,
just doesn't seem like it would be that big of a cost.
Right.
But I also understand the
Right.
town not wanting to take it on
sure.
because they don't know. the
Well,
cost
so
will be
here's
involved.
my question is, and how can we say we're willing to pay half if we don't know what they're
Right.
saying?
asking,
So until
yeah.
we have an idea of what the
Mhm.
cost is gonna
Mhm.
be,
Mhm.
I'm gonna speak for the board and say we can't agree to that.
Right.
We.
I wasn't planning on having
Yeah.
this discussion
Oh,
tonight.
oh,
you
that's
know,
fair, yeah,
We
yeah.
haven't come up with a job description for this new person,
Okay,
and, you know,
okay.
even,
Um,
so.
Mhm.
that said, we do have the remainder of a grant that we'd gotten a while ago. That's the urban forestry grant, which I think we had said we would consider committing that as a portion of
Mhm.
what we could contribute to. There's about $1,000 left in that, so
Right.
like, I mean, we have money, but we just budgeted for next year, and this was not included in our budget.
Right,
to
so I
add
mean,
on, so.
And if I
you're
could-
exactly right. There's
Yeah.
sort of like a fly in the soup
Mhm.
about the, you know, and don't include this in the minutes, please.
Well, we're on.
We're on-
We are on
Yes, we are.
YouTube, but nobody.
So there, you know, since the library got the money
Yeah,
last
They
year,
now want it,
there seems to be a feeling that there should be
Nothing.
a great deal of independence.
Mhm.
right,
So that's where
Well,
that's
okay,
coming
well.
from.
So our lease, quote, page 2, under section 5, repairs, maintenance and improvements, subsection A. Yada sentence. The town shall, at the town's sole cost and expense, maintain all other exterior portions of the property such as grass cutting and tree
Yeah.
removal and general maintenance of the exterior, and all interior fixtures such as sink, water heaters, lighting, and air conditioning.
So there you have it.
There you have it.
Mhm.
And the drain.
Yeah.
No, what, I mean, that.
well, that's
years.
years of that, sitting there.
So I
Um,
brought that to
back
the
up.
attention of the board, just last week, or
Again,
whenever I was here. Was
Mhm.
that last week?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess it was, this is Tuesday. Yes, it was last week.
It was
must be
last
Belgium.
week, yeah, when we had the thing, we had the thing upstairs, yeah,
Mhm.
because, and it was clarified, because I didn't know, is that gonna be a county thing, is it our highway department, but no, it's town property. So the town has to do something about the drain,
Okay.
not any
Oh,
highway
see,
department.
I'd heard that they kept saying, oh, the state has to, or the county has to fix it, cause it's a
No, so
state road, I
it was-
think.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so,
Okay,
So do you anticipate hiring someone before the snow falls?
I think we
Like,
should have to, because there's
plow and all
sidewalk.
that.
Right, okay.
Did Bobby Lee plow here?
No, I think the town-
The town plows.
I mean, it's
Carl.
no
Carl.
noise.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
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 Now,
Yeah, I don't think,
Yeah.
yeah, he, I don't think he does plowing. He did some, I think he did some shoveling. But you don't have a sidewalk, so,
Or a crosswalk.
yeah, that too.
It was nice to see the town increase at your advocation, that be bumped up. I was glad to see that. So I'm hoping that one of the responsibilities could be. That's
Mm-hmm.
3 times a year.
I'm hoping also.
Well, it's in the least.
Yeah,
Right,
It's just a question of who's gonna do it. Is it gonna be the building maintenance line, or is it gonna be, you know, a beautification line? I don't know.
right.
Fair.
Keep losing. I do this all the time, so. What? No, I actually have a printout of the agenda. Oh, no, that's the binder. There's something I was. I just forgot what I was. My thought. There have been, and this was in the last 2 years, it's come up, there was a grant to do some exterior repairs to the ramp, that we cannot apply for because we do not own the building. But we were willing to go into it with, the supervisor and, help write that grant, and it never happened. So, if we can keep our eyes open for stuff like
Mhm.
that, but again, if we find these grants, you often have to move quickly to apply for them, but that, like, we need to, we would love to help find ways to pay for this stuff, but we also then need the back end support because we don't own the building. We need, so I think that that's just something that bears in mind that, when we can, we'd like to try to reach out for those things.
Of course.
Are we
Um,
getting the grants off there? Can we talk about that?
We talked about it, but you had better luck, I think, on finding things through library.
Right, so this-
Organizations.
So there's, for that,
So do you guys have grant software? that
No, and we
allows
don't
you-
have a grant writer either, but that's something that the budget has addressed as well.
Okay.
and I told her that we could, if it involved the library, I'm happy to help. I don't have time to
Yeah.
be a grant writer for the town, but I'm happy to do if there's
Yeah, so
something for the
maybe,
library to do.
maybe that type of grant opportunity might
Sure, if it
be
shows up,
elsewhere
we
and we
can,
can
yeah,
help with it,
yeah.
yeah.
So if something comes up that would make sense for this
Of
building, we
course,
could.
and if you
certainly
write it, I mean,
help,
that's
yeah.
it's a no-brainer. Of course, we'll do it, you
I
know.
have searched
support it.
the grant
Yeah.
software at work and
Yeah,
sent
really?
DM
You-
quite a few things, but most
Surprised.
of them, it's
Yeah.
a national software. So there's no. So
Mm.
it's for library specific, it's easier for her to weed
Yeah.
through kind of some of the library
Right,
websites.
right.
And
Yeah.
for $200 a month, it's not.
Yeah,
cheap,
no,
so it's-
I wasn't sure where we
Yeah,
at, where we at.
yeah.
Oh, and I don't think it's something we can eat in our current.
No,
budget.
no, I
just- And I think with my subscription, I can share like a 14-day free trial. So if you
Mhm.
have 14 days where you wanna, devote to that, then
Yeah.
that's great.
Not
But
right
in
now.
reality, you'll have like a couple of hours probably, by the time you get the time set aside for it.
So I think word of mouth helps within Mid Hudson, and
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
community is really good about sharing grant news and grant
Opportunity,
opportunities, so I don't.
Yeah, and I think ALA has got stuff
Oh,
and,
Can we join the ALA? That's.
Oh, was that
That's
something?
not, that we had added, that wasn't on my list.
talked
We
about
talked
it.
about it, but it was like it's $190 to join
Per
ALA
year?
per year for us.
I think it's of value if it gets us access to more stuff from ALA.
I'll have to see about-
So, I think it is worthwhile, but it is something that we probably as a board would have to vote on. So Deanne asked, Kiri and I whether we thought we should join ALA, and I think it's a good idea, American Library Association.
We're already members of NILA, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I don't know, let me see exactly what ALA, it's more of an advocacy for nowadays.
Libraries in general,
Yeah.
which
I
is
need it.
important as
Yeah,
well.
I think we,
And
But
could
see
you
what-
compare the difference between what the ALA does, because Nyla regurgitates a lot of what the ALA does. I'm sure they do individual stuff.
NYLA is aimed
But-
at Albany.
Yeah.
ALA is federal
National,
and
yeah.
national and, you know, regional and, you know, so it's, you know, different, but, I honestly, so in my opinion, as a librarian, I think these organizations that go out there and speak for the profession and for the facilities and the libraries are doing a great job, and we should, if we can, we should support them. So for $200 a year, I think it's not, you know, and, you know, it would be nice, maybe we could revisit it next year, whether we continue, but I think it is of value. And that's my personal opinion.
I
but-
agree to a degree, but I don't see us getting a ton of federal grants. We get more of the state and local grants.
you would be surprised.
But, so the ALA membership opens us up into that.
We don't
window?
know, not
No.
necessarily.
If you're looking, so there is funding from the national that comes down through to Mid Hudson. And then, or to the state.
Yeah.
And then it's distributed thereabouts. So in the last time. This is current, the administration that's coming in was involved in. Funding, they were trying to cut library and education funding, and that was stopped that time. It may not be this time. So the ALA would be on that end of national lobbying for libraries nationally. So it is, if you think about it that way, the federal government is funneling money to states, which then funnel money to libraries. So it's
Fair
a
enough.
broader versus narrow view. So they would be on the front end of that fight. That's probably coming up.
Do we want to put off the vote for next month so we can look into it
Yes,
more?
I will show exactly what we get.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Okay. Is that facilities? Did you,
Yeah,
we
that's-
answer all your
Yes,
questions?
thank you.
Marketing,
I have to order the sign, I forgot.
okay,
I'll do
yeah.
it this week.
and with the weather's been, we'll be able to
The
put it
weather's
in. Okay.
Not burn the sign, though. Don't burn the sign.
Yeah, I will. Okay, fundraising, so I didn't get a chance to read that letter that you did. We've already kind of talked about the postage and stuff like that. So maybe we'll get a chance to read it and we can approve the postcard and the size and start thinking about doing that. We were talking about maybe writing some more personalized letters. We had drafted that letter. I think we need to get the list together as to who we're planning to send it to. So that's.
I can work on the list at the end of this week.
Okay,
And
I
I'll-
know, you've already started a list, correct?
Yeah, I have
Okay,
I can lay out the
2008.
card.
2,000 names?
2 dozen.
Oh, I said for 2,000. I said, wow.
she's very
Okay.
energetic.
Wow.
Elon.
Start at the top.
I know one name that I want to send it to.
And actually, some of the names came from my investigation in writing stickers for the other end. That was interesting. That was a very long rabbit hole I went
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
It's just spending a lot of time on parcel access.
Yeah.
Mhm. Is there parcel access for Columbia County?
Mhm.
Mhm.
There it is.
There it is.
It's for every county in New York.
Okay, I can never find it when
It
I
may be
want
my
it.
favorite rabbit hole to go down.
It was Columbia County?
Time
Or-
to
I know, I
go
do.
by. It's like a wheel in time, like you're like.
comparing that to like Trulia and
Yeah.
seeing how.
It's brilliant.
Which reminds me, Mr. Zagat gave us the donation that came through,
Okay.
and I wrote a thank you note for
Okay,
that,
great.
so.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
How do we keep track of the donations as they come in?
There, we have a Google
Beautiful.
spreadsheet
Okay.
that is on the Google site and it has the name, the address, and then whether a note has been sent, so,
Does it have the amount?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
And we'll need to remember to circle back to some people who, if they gave us last year or earlier, or, we should think about it, okay.
What about
Uh,
Tomorrow.
what?
Hi, what about tomorrow? I got raffle tickets for tomorrow.
Okay,
Right,
I forgot about that.
And what time is tomorrow?
starts at 6.
I'm
So
gonna get-
county
The town
executive,
board meeting is at 7 too.
What are the raffle tickets for?
hi,
And they-
this came up very,
Very
very
fast.
recently.
We're gonna sell raffle tickets
The
and,
county executive is presenting her budget here, one of
Right.
3 locations through the county.
Right,
So when they confirmed that, I sent out a frantic email saying we should probably be doing something here at the library. As people walk in, because they're gonna have to walk right past us. So I bought a case of cider, we're gonna do hot cider and sell it. Somebody had mentioned baked goods, I don't know if that's happening, and a 50-50 raffle. As people come in, $1 a ticket, unless anybody,
money.
unless anybody
Uh,
changes their mind, and that way it's all encompassing through that one evening. It's very labor minimalist.
Mhm.
And it's a fundraiser, but it also it's a public engagement opportunity for us.
Yeah.
Because the people who are coming, this will be not just Pine Plains, this will be the
Yeah.
entire northern chunk of the county,
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
for all intents and purposes, so.
I am getting on an Amtrak train at 1:51 tomorrow afternoon. Not because of you.
We have no staff that can help. though.
So that's
Nobody- yeah,
okay.
Okay, nobody can stay
I'm gonna
late,
be here at 5.
okay,
Allison's gonna be here at 5,
okay.
I'm gonna be here at 4.
I have a doctor's appointment in the city at 4:45, so I won't be back in time.
If it's only a couple of us, it's very, very manageable.
Cause I kind of think it's, I mean, I don't know how long they've been running and how long is it scheduled for the. saw it on
There's one
Facebook.
tonight in Poughkeepsie, I don't know, the one in Beekman last week was long.
I think the presentation is 30 minutes, but then there are questions.
Right,
Right.
yeah,
Oh, we're having the bake sale at the library on the 26th as well.
Okay.
We're just, but I'm gonna have it on the 25th. I'm bringing some Rice Krispie treats for the kids club. In case somebody, parents want to buy some for the, so.
Make them pay for their snacks.
so if anybody has suggestions or commentary regarding that, I was gonna do raffle tickets for $1 a piece and then $10 for a dozen tickets. And then call it at 6:15, print out the winning number, because everybody should be
Mhm.
upstairs at that point. And then as they come down,
Mhm.
it's your responsibility to check. We'll
Right.
post the number.
Right.
It's your responsibility to check. If you leave by the next day, sorry,
Mhm.
keeping your money. You're forfeiting
Yeah.
the 50-50.
Well, hopefully whoever wins will just.
I'm sure, and I'll try to make it a point to tell everybody that. We'll post it as well.
Especially when we do 50/50 show, is donate the money back to.
Right.
Hopefully.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
tomorrow.
Everything
At
is
6.
tomorrow.
Everything.
Upstairs.
Why did the
Concert at the
town
high
board-
school is tomorrow.
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah.
Why did
so
the
I mean,
town board meeting, if I might ask, why was the town?
Because
board
there's
meeting-
a limit, there's a limit of when you have to have the public hearing. And I'm in a deadline,
Numbers of days, yeah.
and it's the 20th,
Mhm. Okay,
which is tomorrow, so that's why we had to move it.
That's the public hearing on the budget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we had to meet that deadline.
which again is probably why Zuzarino is doing tomorrow night too. Okay. We still need the policy review votes. We have the PTO policy. That was included in the, and I did it again. There we go. Found it. Let's do that then. Do the facilities report, okay, it reads, part-time employees will accumulate 1 hour PTO for every 20 hours worked. This is in addition to the 40 hours of sick leave per year they're entitled to as per state laws. PTO can be used to pay for sick days, but it cannot be accessed the first 90 days of employment. Unused PTO will not be paid out upon leaving employment. So that's the addition is the unused. So can we make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the changes.
Second.
written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then the other one is that addition of the statement, the selection of all materials must be objective as possible. As objective as possible and meet the highest standards of quality, content, and expression. To the selection of materials section of the material selection policy. I guess, can we have a
What's the actual title of this policy or? what's the
material
actual-
selection
That's,
policy
okay, oh, right,
is really what it's called.
you mean the thing that's in the header,
Yeah.
got it, okay.
Exactly.
I can make a motion to accept the material selection policy as written.
Second,
All in favor? Aye.
aye,
Okay.
Thank you.
Old business, new business, we need to make nominations for
I
the
have old
board
business.
position. Oh, you have old business,
I have old
sorry.
Business,
Me
and
too.
I didn't
What's-
send it, you go first, please,
Oh.
by all means.
You have
So
old business?
on, this is in regards to salaries and
Okay.
wages. We had discussed the overtime rule for salaried employees.
Okay.
On November 15th, the federal court decision, I'm just gonna read this article because it's easier to explain.
Mhm.
Spared HR professionals with having to comply with the increase in the salary threshold for white collar exemptions from an overtime. A threshold that had been set to rise to 58,000 as of January 1st.
Mhm.
It actually also shot down the July 1st increase of the salary threshold. So it effectively went back to the 2019 overtime
Number.
of $35,000 a
Okay.
year. So
Is that for state as well?
that I
Okay,
don't
so-
know about, it means it is effective for like nationwide. So I don't know if New York State will then go back and overturn it, but as of right now, the federal overruled. So New York State may change that, but for as of November 15th.
Was definitely a
Hi.
draconian.
And that's kind
Yeah.
of what, so the decision applies nationwide. I'm happy to send this link around to everybody too. But yeah, the court
Yeah.
really pushed back on saying like, this is a huge jump from. It went from $35,000 in 2019 to $58,000 in
Yeah.
2025, so.
Yeah.
It jumped a lot. Which,
Yes, if you could send that around, just so we can get it in our files. Okay, your old business?
Draconian's a good word for that, right? I mean, that's.
Yeah. It was a big change that was gonna
Yeah.
affect a
lot of
lot of
people.
people,
a
yeah.
lot of, and it. Especially nonprofits, I feel
Yeah.
like, because that's a huge jump from, I mean, minimum wage goes up
Yeah,
6% or whatever it is, but that was for
Yeah.
salaried.
Yeah.
Exempt employees, a big jump.
yeah, it's almost double.
Mhm.
You said you had old
Me,
business.
hi, yeah, sorry. So I just sent to all of your emails. The quote from Inez for the stenciling.
Mhm.
The quote was for $900 to finish off the three
Oh,
names, which
no.
include Veronica, Alexis, and the addition of Deanne.
Yeah.
Half of that amount was donated already. So at this point, it's actually only $450 that we would need to approve spending to complete it.
Why was, how was half of that already donated?
a generous benefactor that I hunted down.
Oh, amazing, awesome. Thank you for that.
Thank you, anonymous generous benefactor. Yes, let's vote to approve the spending of $450. The question is where will it come out of? Is there a spot that we could identify? No.
Well, we just.
Ted, where should we put it,
Ted, where
Ted?
should we put this?
Marketing?
No, he's looking.
Yeah, I was kind of
You
thinking,
know, repairs and maintenance.
yeah, repairs and
Maintenance.
maintenance.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's do it. So $450 has been approved. Or let's vote on whether we're approving this.
I make a motion to approve the $450 for the stenciling
I'll
of
second
previous and
it.
future. Existing, sorry. Library directors.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great.
So I'm gonna give her your contact and see when you would best like her to come.
Okay.
I don't imagine she
Not a Tuesday afternoon?
invasive, but yeah, not a Tuesday. I also already. I already clarified with her that just the way that it's written, I didn't want her assuming that you were only here this year, so totally
Yeah.
leave space.
Yeah. For a continuation,
So,
yeah.
Perpetuity, put the infinity symbol.
Okay, new, do you
I got
more
more.
Elvis?
Oh my God.
I posted, I'm sorry.
Always do.
I always do. I posted, you mentioned the board application was added to the newsletter. I posted around town the flyer along with some applications in paper form.
Mhm.
Those all have a QR code, which bring you right to the application, which will be downloaded. And I got one person so- who already has reached out. So to me personally,
Okay.
they saw me putting it up.
Okay,
So, and he would be a really good addition.
okay. Did they fill out the application yet?
I told him to go to the website because that was the
I got
one,
it.
I had a couple that I didn't have physical applications
Okay.
with. And then just a note that, if we're really serious about the 414 on the agenda next year, every 414 passed
Yeah.
This year.
in the Mid Hudson Library
Yeah.
System this year
By 70% or more.
by a lot.
Yeah.
I'll point out that I work in close proximity to Putnam County, which happens to be
The Westchester.
significantly, oh, no,
Oh,
Putnam's
they're-
in,
they're-
yeah,
Putnam's on?
they're with us. And they're definitely much more fiscally conservative, but all of theirs passed 60+%.
Mhm.
That's all.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's good,
Yeah.
that's good note. New business
I'm gonna
nominations.
stick with old business for one
Oh,
second.
God.
We need to,
Uh,
have coffee with the person that we
Yes, we
spoke
do.
to about potentially being
Yes,
on
we
the
do.
board and
Mm.
see if that person is, interested at all. So, just wanted to remind us.
Yes, I think that's a great idea.
Hmm.
To remind me of that. Can we do new business now?
Yeah, I can.
We need to nominate. Patrick is willing to continue on as secretary.
But he's not here to say no.
He's- No, I actually.
I know you do.
I verify. I am willing to stay on as president, at least for one more year.
Oh, you said you wouldn't do it.
Change your mind.
You want to be
No,
president?
absolutely
There
not.
you go. Will you be vice president?
I'm happy to continue in my role.
Okay, so we'll have an official vote on that in next month. So we gotta put that on the
Is that would be old business, new business next year, next agenda?
yeah,
With-
old business.
Old business,
Probably
okay.
old business now. Do we need an executive session today? No, okay. And I guess that leads us up to adjournment.
I have two items.
Oh, you have two items.
Number one,
Okay.
we still have not been able to find a CPA to do the New York State AFR for the state controller. We've called numerous CPAs. I called the one you recommended, Claire, didn't even give a call back.
Okay.
Nobody wants to do it. So we gotta come up with somebody.
Mhm.
That's number one. Number two, next month, all of the trustees have to fill out a form listing the average number of hours you spend as a trustee,
Mhm.
not a volunteer, but as a trustee.
Mhm.
And I have to turn that in to the guy that does the 990 for us.
Okay.
So that,
Tell us, when is our deadline?
I'm sorry.
Give us a deadline.
Well, I would assume by the time you have your board meeting next month.
Okay. Okay.
This way, if you want to do it at the board meeting, you can just give it to me.
Okay.
Should we
Or
just
just
print
say
out-
it.
Does it just needs to be a number
Number of hours, average number of hours
per week,
per month.
per month? Okay.
Month.
Average per month.
It doesn't have to be exact. It just has to be
Okay.
reasonable.
Reasonable. Okay. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Okay.
Stand by.
What?
Give me one minute,
Oh, you.
going through historical. So that- No, we're good.
Oh, thank God.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor? Aye, thank you.
Thank
It is
you.
8:22.
Who's seconding?
Bye-bye.